Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of the Smart Flip with me and Matt. And guys, today we have our guest, David Veras. He's joining us for his second time on the podcast. Today we're going to be going over how he was able to do $100,000 in sales on eBay within a 90-day period on eBay. Now, I want to be very clear. A lot of people are getting this confused. A lot of people are thinking he did that in 90 days, like starting from zero. That is not accurate. And I just want to be very clear that that's the case.
Yeah,
eBay has a 90-day like tracking um where he did $100,000 in that time frame. All right. By the way, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, this is the Smart Flip, the Phone Flippers podcast, where we talk about all things phone flipping, helping people, whatever, do their thing, their
that's
side
right.
hustle, get their business up and running.
Yep.
And we got a bunch of resources and stuff below. I'm not going to go into all that. If you want my book, you can get it for free on episode 11 of the podcast. Got another book coming out soon. Don't have a date on that yet. It's definitely a bigger project than I expected because I want to make it great. But just stay on the lookout for that. But let's jump straight into the good stuff today. David, how's Miami, man? Is it hot over
Yeah,
there?
I love it here. No, it's always hot. Always.
It is hot.
Yeah.
I was there 2 months
Yeah.
ago. It's always hot, but it's awesome city though. Like it's
Thank
great.
you.
I love whenever I landed in the Miami airport, I was like, I had to do my 45-minute walk. I was on 75 hard still. So that Miami airport's kind of big too. So, but yeah, man, let's talk about you did 100K in sales on eBay in 90 days. That's an achievement, man. Like a lot of people never see those types of numbers on eBay, and some people think eBay's dead.
Mm. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, those are the sales for the last 90 days. So it's not I mean, I didn't do that the first 90 days starting out. That's just what I've sold in the last 90 days gross. That's not
Yeah.
profit either.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice number to reach and finally I feel like a small mini goal for me, but it's not life changing or anything, but it's nice. And getting better.
So what does the profit look like on that? What are your margins?
So I would say in this quarter, I already made 20K profit. And that's not 90 days. That's probably like what 75 days so far into the quarter.
It's awesome.
Um, so I would say like maybe 25% margin there. You
Yeah.
know,
That's,
I'm thinking.
yeah. Yeah, because you're selling a lot of stuff outside of phones. Still, are
Yeah,
you selling a lot of DJ equipment still on eBay?
I do. And that's something that we talked about last time
Mhm.
is the relationship that one relationship is still paying me off. And that's something I grinded out. I found it through Facebook Marketplace, just doing reach outs. I found this one guy that now he consistently brings me DJ equipment every month, and I can depend on him to make 2K profit every month, just him, you
Wow.
know.
Awesome, dude. That's
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
I also
That's really
saw you
great.
sold you posted in Slack the other day a
Mhm.
oh shoot, what was it? You made it sold for like 2 grand. What the heck was that? Graphics card?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
latest high ticket thing I sold, a graphics card.
Yeah.
That's cool.
A
That's
lot
really
of
cool.
we got one guy in the program that like that's pretty much all he does is like
Mm.
that high-end computer equipment and stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but I'm starting to notice it's, super like valuable.
Oh
I
yeah,
sold a
there's so
graphics
many.
card myself, but
Yeah.
well,
Hmm.
that's a lie. I have. It was a lower end one though. I just
Hmm.
it was an upsell, and the guy was like, "I have this thing." I was like, "All right, whatever. I don't even know what this is."
That's That's kind of the same thing that happened to me is that I still watch your podcast. I always pick up one or two things from it. The last guy that was here, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure. He was from Miami too.
Yeah, Eric.
The Dominican guy, I think he's
Yep.
from,
Yeah.
I'm Dominican too. Uh, he mentioned graphics card, like, by the way, like, oh, this is one of my bigger ticket items. And for the last year or two, I promised you, I promise you, I've heard people mention graphics card, and I've always been like, oh, I don't want to buy that because I don't know how to test them. I don't know anything about it. And I thought it was like super difficult to work with. Turns out they're really resilient or they don't break often. As long as they don't see rust or something on them, they're pretty much good to go. unless
Yeah.
there's like obvious cracks or something. So once I knew that, and I just gave it a try, and it worked out. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Eric was cool. He talked a lot about what I've. It was funny because whenever we brought him on, like I love how he talked about something that I've done for a while. And I've actually been talking to Matt about this. Is like
Hmm.
moving my focus from the lower end flips to the higher end flips. Um, Me and Matt actually talked about that the other day, where
Hmm.
it feels like the $80 to $120 profits kind of they're getting boring. You know, like it's like another day. The other day I
I
flipped a
feel like it's a
camera.
stepping stone.
I agree.
Hmm.
Yes, I think and that's a good way to put it. Is the
Hmm.
phone flipping itself is a stepping stone, but like the
Hmm.
real money, I believe, unless you go like full wholesale, which
Hmm.
is a completely different business model.
Hmm.
Upgrading the things that you flip and just getting better at flipping higher ticket items is the way to go, in my opinion. And correct me if I'm wrong, people that are selling
Hmm.
these higher end items are easier to negotiate.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that too. But you can lose money too. You just got to watch out.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think the mindset is you're gonna get burned eventually. But when you do get burned, like just take it as a lesson and just watch out for that one thing next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of stumbled into it because of the DJ stuff. All of it is mostly high end or expensive, especially the more popular equipment. So I kind of just had to start doing the high price stuff. And I
Mhm.
noticed that the margins were just a lot bigger. If I'm making $400 to do the same amount of work it makes to take a $40 item or make a $40 profit, it's literally the same steps. It's literally
Yeah.
clean it, take
Yeah.
pictures of it, post it, except the margin is totally different, which is fine. You can do both. And I still do, some of the smaller stuff, but I try to go for the bigger stuff or negotiate where maybe the it starts with some bigger items and the guy's like, well, I have some smaller stuff, and just to like be on the cool side, I'll throw in some of the smaller stuff too. But I'm only trying to get that big thing or go for the big numbers.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's a time thing too, right? Like
Yeah, it's a
at
time
least for
investment
me
as well.
anyway. Yeah, there's a big time investment with that. Like here lately, I've been messing with higher end cameras. Um,
Hmm.
and I made the post in Slack the other day. I bought a camera for 650, sold it for 1200. 2 days later. That's a $400 profit.
Hmm.
That's typically like four phones that you have to flip to do that.
Yeah,
So I like to look at it in that kind of way. But
Yeah. That's a good
it's
point.
efficiency too. No, I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it's definitely efficient. Um,
mm,
but yeah, I think you're totally right. I think it is more of a stepping stone. I think, you know, in a way, consoles are, even more of a stepping stone if we actually look at it that way. Like that's actually the new people. That's where I push them to now. It's like start with consoles. They're
Yeah.
easy, you know.
I did switches
Yeah.
for a while.
You did? Yeah. How did that go?
Yeah. Switches are nice because you can get, you just split them up. It builds up feedback score. It gets you into the motion of packaging, taking pictures, and I think how to split things up, how to, what is it, part out items, and
Yeah.
and think about it in that sense too. Everything's a learning experience, to be honest. Anytime you flip anything.
It's
True.
true.
100%. So, what in the past 90 days, dude, what would you say was most of your flips on eBay specific? Because I know you sell
Mm,
stuff on what is that other website for the DJ equipment? By the way, how's that looking? Like,
Reverb?
yeah, Reverb.
Reverb. So I actually do make more money on Reverb, but the sales are not as quick. So I just focus on eBay just because thinking. So in the last, what I think is a big lesson for me recently to hit these bigger numbers, just think efficiency. Like just try to spend less time doing things that don't bring in that much money. And if it costs so much more time to list things on Reverb, if I'm willing to make a little bit more, just I completely cut off Reverb, just focus on eBay.
Okay.
One less app to open.
Yeah.
Fair. That's yeah. Okay, cool. So all of the DJ equipment and stuff now goes on eBay, it sounds like.
Mhm.
Okay. So I was looking at the photo that you put up. What was it, like 232 orders to get 100,000 on eBay? Dude, that's what the heck is that per
That's
per
pretty sweet. It's about $400 an item, right?
I
The average
don't know.
order.
I
So
can't do it off the top of my head, but
yeah. Well, I mean,
math, math.
let's just talk about it like that, right? So if you did 100,000 in sales off of, I think it was 232,
Mhm.
100,000 divided by 232, yeah, $431 per item sold. Pretty good. Like that's awesome, you
To
know?
answer your question, focusing on Apple stuff, I think there's so much money to be made with Apple stuff. I think
Agreed.
another thing I
Yeah.
wanted to say is if somebody is doing this business on a nationwide scale, you should be able to do it pretty well on a local level because you're there in person. So I look at these companies like Sell My Mac or these big Mac buyers that they work
Yeah.
internet I'm sorry, nationwide. And if there's got to be a way for you to get their business. If they're doing it on a national scale and you're the person that they can talk to in person or on the phone and
Yeah.
have a human interact with a human, there's no way you can't offer them a little bit more than what they're doing. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just it. But the point is, like, if there's a nationwide game buyer, nationwide camera buyer, nationwide Apple buyer, then there's no way you can't do that locally
Yep.
and be
Yep.
the best at it.
100%. Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, I use those companies a lot in negotiation because people will send me screenshots of like, yeah, Gazelle offered me blah, blah, blah. Right. I'll be like,
Mhm.
yeah, take it. If you want to wait 2 weeks to get paid and possible deductions,
Hmm.
if you're and they're, and then that kind of stops them really quick. They're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, you don't get paid
Mhm.
immediately, bro. Like, you
Mhm.
gotta send it in, they gotta look at it, and then you get paid. Uh,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's a much different game.
And it feels good to me too, because you're just being honest with somebody. I feel like the more honest, the less you try to sell somebody or pressure them to do anything, the more likely they're gonna go somewhere else. Just be really upfront and honest. And hey, you can get paid today. They might be able to pay you a little bit more, but I
Hmm.
don't know how they do it. This is
Hmm.
what the numbers I'm getting on eBay. This is what I think I could get for it, and I'll
Hmm.
show you. And
Yep.
this is what I can offer you. If you want cash today, if not, sell on yourself. I mean, you can probably get more for it, but you're not gonna sell
Yeah.
it today. I don't think.
Well, my favorite thing to do is tell them to sell it on eBay themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like that approach.
It works because people don't want to do that, right? It creates a lot of friction. Um,
Yeah.
so
Help them realize that things from your perspective. Like the more you can see things from their perspective, I guess the more they're going to be able to see your perspective too, and the more likely you're going to be able to meet in the middle.
that's yeah, I mean, that's how it works. That's negotiation, right? Like
Hmm.
honest negotiation. Anyway,
Yeah. Hmm.
like I tell people,
I
I tell people,
I think the dishonest negotiation doesn't work sometimes too, because they'll come they might like bite into it, but they're going to regret it later.
oh yeah, 100%. And that's how you kill repeat customers really fast too.
Mhm.
Like I'm always telling the students, like, aim to make $500 to $1,000 per customer every single year. That's the fastest way to get to six figures by far.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
if you can do that, you win by default, you know? Um, everybody has electronics. So I want to talk a little bit about this. What is your bandwidth on electronics? Like how far does it go? I mean, I know obviously you do Apple products. Um,
Mhm.
you also do graphics cards, you do DJ equipment. Um, what else is in there that, in those sales that we don't see?
Yeah, I think that adds to the business as well as your ability to buy products or the more products you can buy, the more likely to make money from the persons that you're buying from, and the more you can spend on marketing and things like that, right? So the last thing, I buy anything. I think one of the reasons why I did so well with this course or this program is not, the coaching was there and that I got the coaching when I needed it, that I had my questions answered, which is, a reason why I invested in the program. But
Yeah.
before that, I've always been into like, we talked about this before. I was a waiter. I used to flip things in high school, like buying and selling candy. I try to consider myself a people person. Like I like talking to people and getting to know them and like building real relationships with people and just being honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like all those things added to doing well with this business as soon as I started it because it's like I kind of knew how to talk to people. I kind of knew how to be honest. I kind of knew how to customer service. I feel like that's really important. That's going to give you repeat customers is your ability to keep people happy and like check in with them. Sometimes everyone be like, hey, we haven't talked in a while, but I just want to let you know, like, you're still here to buy your electronics or something. Just be
Hmm.
like a cool person. I think that really adds to the numbers game as well before, the other stuff we were just talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. There's something to be said about the nature of, it's not like you're trying to present yourself as someone fake, but likability. Like I can think of a few things. Like in school, people always remember the teachers that they liked, right? No one ever really learned anything from somebody that they
Hmm.
didn't like. Most people
Hmm.
tend not to do like business with
Yeah.
people they don't like, right?
Hmm.
Like, it just kind of like makes sense. And so there's something to say, about being like um, as resellers, we're not always agreeable, but what we are is like courteous, respectful, and like transparent. And I think that that honesty can earn credibility, rapport, and likability with people, and that helps close deals. And I think that that is a really important aspect of this business. Yeah.
I feel like some people don't know what that means, even when you say things like, "Oh, like be a likable person," this and that. Like, what do you think is like what makes somebody likable to you?
Sure. Well, I think one form of currency that people don't realize before you ever exchange money is respect. Respect is kind of the currency of the street,
Hmm.
and nobody likes to be disrespected, right? You want to shut down a deal, guys. Find a way to disrespect somebody either through text, over the phone, or face to face, and you'll very quickly find a person will be like, people will say no just to spite you once you disrespect them because they'll like it's like an instant like dislike or thumbs down, right?
Could you
Whereas,
give us an example of like a
um,
way so you feel like disrespected in this
oh,
business?
I would say some people perceive an offer as disrespectful, right? Let's say you say, "Oh no, no, dude, don't lowball me." Hey, if you meet their I don't want to say antagonism, but if you meet their sour attitude about how they might feel about your price with kindness, hey, I run a business that buys items just like this, and I just need to buy it at a price that is profitable for me. I'd love to put some cash in your pocket today. Like now I'm letting them know I'm not trying to be disagreeable. I'm trying to run a healthy, upstanding business, but you don't understand that. So it's important that I explain this to you a little bit so that you can kind of understand, and like you guys were saying before, see this from my vantage point. From your vantage point, sounds like you're trying to get some cash. How much are you trying to looking to get today, right? Now, now this person also hears that I'm interested in them. I'm interested in actually
Hmm.
trying to put money in their pocket, right? So
Exactly.
there's a difference in saying, I think, certain things like, dude, are you stupid? There's no way I can buy it at that price, right? That's going to immediately burn a bridge, right? But as
Yeah.
resellers, as negotiators,
Hmm.
you're in the business of people. And so you've got to be effective at building bridges. And there are things that can be said and things that cannot be said that can work really well to do that for people. And the cool thing is that a lot of people they start in this business, right? Chris, you know this. David, you know this. Like they're really bad at negotiation, and they think they're bad at reselling. But what they're not good at ultimately is understanding the dynamics and the dance of conversing with people and how to relate to people. And
Hmm.
that's every business. Like you could walk away from this business and go sell cars. You could go become a teacher. You could be skilled in the custodial arts. I don't know, like whatever, right? But if you learn how to manage and handle people, you're probably going to be effective and stand out in any industry. And talk about skill stacking. That is one skill that I absolutely love. Is like you learn the dance and the conversation with folks, and you can take that away and you can put that towards anything. But, if you guys are like us, we like applying that to reselling because, you can make more and work less
Oh my
once you
gosh.
get
Yes.
once you get it rolling, and it's pretty rewarding. I don't know, David, like what are your thoughts about this specific topic we're kind of going back and forth about?
No, I'm glad we touched this topic because I just feel like that's such an important topic, and we're gonna go back to Chris's original topic of uh how I'm buying so many things or how I can buy things. But yeah, I feel like being a cool person is important, and then a lot of people don't understand what is a cool person, and then a cool person doesn't lowball people. That's I have somebody who's hiring me negotiate over text now because I get a lot of text messages. And one of the things that he started doing was people would ask, I want an offer for this, and he would just lowball them and just not say nothing after that. He would just be like, "Oh, we could do 250 for that," and then some people will just not respond anymore, or they'll just
Huh.
ghost us. And I was like, dude, you need to like if you're gonna lowball, you gotta tell them why. You gotta like just give them a reason why at least. That's like step one. So like, hey, we can do 250 because on eBay they go for 350, and we need to make
Yeah.
some money in the middle. Versus just lowballing them, and then like that's how you don't. That's how you disrespect somebody. You lowball them and you don't give them a reason, and you just kind of ghost them after that.
That's fair.
Let's
Yeah.
You're
define
not cool.
lowballing real quick. I'd like to
I'm sorry.
define. I'd like to define what a lowball is real quick. Like, so I have two definitions. So
Okay.
for me, I call it an anchor offer, which is quote unquote a lowball, but the
Mm-hmm.
anchor offer is still higher than Eco ATM, and typically, so it's used to anchor them a little bit lower. Then we can ask more questions,
Yep.
on like more information that we get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a low ball, I'll give you guys a super example of a low ball. So I bought a iMac from a pawn shop for $378 a couple
Uh-huh.
months back. Um, this is like $800 iMac, like easy.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and flip it to another pawn shop. If I bought it for 378, I can probably make quick
That's
100 bucks
savage.
here, you know?
That's
Uh,
funny.
so I took it to the other pawn shop. They offered me $150. And I was like the feeling that I got was like disgust.
Yeah.
Like that was it was a very aggressive low ball, you know?
That
And I
is
was just
aggressive.
Did
like,
they try to
man,
kick you out after? I've heard really bad stories of pawn shops.
oh no, I buy from pawn shops all the time. I'm friends with a lot of
Uh,
people who work at them. Um,
no,
but
I love pawn shops, but this one guy he sold like he told me he got there, they offered like low ball, and then they were like, "Hey, you need to get out." Like he got a little upset, and he's like, "You need to step out." So they tried him with the low
Whoa.
ball, and then they tried him by trying to kick him out as soon as they low balled him. So I was like, "Damn, that place is disgusting." But anyway, I'm sorry. Keep your
yeah,
story.
they need some people skills, obviously. Um,
Oh,
Yeah.
but like, I just want to define lowball a little bit. Like
yeah.
that, the offer that I got from the pawn shop was a disgustingly lowball. Like that is
Gotcha.
scum of the earth type of lowballing, right?
Yeah.
Now, like the lowball that I typically talk about, or the anchor offer that I usually recommend in the very first message is like, hey, yeah, we've been paying blah 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 for this, right? It's usually higher than Eco ATM, so it's
Yeah.
not, scum of the earth lowballing, right? Usually it's like $40 higher. Um, and I just want to define that just so people don't, because some people think lowball and then they think that like the pawn shop example. Uh,
Yeah.
But
Well,
my definition of low ball is more of an anchor. It's like here, I'm gonna start it relatively low to where I
yeah.
make probably 150 in profit. But if
Hmm.
I have to go up, I'll settle for an $80 profit.
Yeah. I do think that when you're dealing with customers, people think a lowball lots of times if you're dealing with folks on Facebook Marketplace, guys talking about reach outs, offer up, Craigslist. A lot of people think a lowball offer is just lower than what they think they should be getting for it.
Yeah.
And you got to be clear that that's not the case. Like if you're using what Chris is saying here, and what David has used, which is like looking at A2E, Echo ATM, looking at GameStop, looking at prices on Target or Walmart buyback, or some of these larger buybacks, and then using that and then beating that industry standard with your local prices, you're actually doing people a favor by buying their devices. And I don't think a lot of people that hear or listen to the show or maybe even run their own business think about that in terms of like, that's helpful ammunition when you're coming back in contrast to what somebody might be saying, oh, F you, you lowballing me, bro. What's wrong with you? I'm tired of you scalpers and scammers. Oh my God. You're like, dude, you want to get scammed? Go down to Echo ATM and see what they offer you for your iPhone 13 Pro Max. Like, and then I'll expect your phone call tomorrow, right? And that might be a little too forward for some people, but how many times has that happened, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just
Yeah.
tell them in a much easier way. It's like, hey, yeah, you can go sell it to the Eco ATM. And let's be real, like, so
Yeah.
there's a thing going on right now with the iPhone 16e, right? Where the Eco ATM is paying a higher price than what I can pay. Like I just tell them to go sell it to it, Like
Mm.
like I don't
Right.
know
Yeah.
why.
Just be cool.
I don't know how it's paying more. Like, I don't know how they're making money, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, if they're paying higher, sell it. Like, I want you to get the most money for your device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And that all comes full circle of being cool with people, and then which led to this one guy that I bought some stuff from him,
Yeah.
and he's like, bro, I really need to make some money. I want to sell something to you, and I was anything small and valuable, and he's like, oh, I have a class ring, and
yeah,
he's
you
like, oh, it's
said
10, yeah,
This right
10K
here.
gold,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, dang, I really don't like. I know you can make money selling jewelry, so I tell them go to a pawn shop, tell me how much they want to offer you for it, and then I can do my research and I'll buy it from you. And he tells me he's like, hey, they want to give me a check. I just want cash. I'll even take a $10 discount. He said
A
360.
check.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure what it was, but
Is
because
it
I think
95? Oh my gosh. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry,
No, it's like
95.
1995 or something. That's
Oh,
curious. Go ahead,
I
bro.
don't know what it was, but because I was like an honest guy with him, we worked together. I didn't pressure him into anything. He was just really cool with me about the whole ring, and I kind of like played it out a little bit because I didn't want to sure he was like trying to lie to me or something. So I was like, "Oh, I'm not sure." Blah blah blah. Let me look into it. I did the whole ChatGPT thing. I was like, "Hey, I have this 10 carat class ring. The gem is blue." The thing told me, "Oh, the gem's probably not worth anything, but the 10K of gold is worth something." And I just what's the resale value on this? I literally did whatever ChatGPT told me to put. 650 on the price. 650 on the price. I put it up, sold same day. And that now I'm jewelry. I buy jewelry. If you have jewelry, I might. I'm interested. I know
Oh,
I might be gonna get burned one day or something, but like I always say, like I think the lesson's gonna come eventually, and it's gonna be okay because it's gonna pay me dividends in the end. So,
You guys watch out. David Vera's South Beach Pawn is coming for you.
uh,
I think that
no, it's just another add-on, right? Like something else you can flip.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
that's really powerful what you just said. Is like you're going to get burned somewhere in the future, right? Like
Right.
you're choosing right now to basically make that a learning opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think that that's a big difference between a lot of people that come into this business is they want to go through the whole business and not have any mistakes, not ever get burned, not any like
Not gonna happen.
it's gonna happen. Like no
I
matter.
get burned once a week. I get
You
burned.
got, yeah, there you go, dude. Like
For example, I bought this. Well, I didn't pay too much, but it was M1 MacBook Air. He said the display was fine because at first he told me I should have. This is a lesson. The red flag. He's like, oh, something's wrong with the display, and I give him $100 offer for it. Then a week later, he's like, oh, the display works now, and I was like, okay, I'll give you 150 for it. But then the display was working for about 30 minutes, and then it broke again.
oh,
Oh my God.
So
right after
it's a
you bought
small
it, right?
burn, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna make $20 on this or whatever. But
Yeah.
every week there's something that happens like that.
Yeah, I think I wish people were aware that like we understand that, guys, that's the cost of like doing business.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's
any
that's
business.
accounted for within this process. Like you just kind of look at that and you go, oh yeah, there's a little bit of collateral damage in every business, and that's kind of part of that's just kind of earning your lumps. And the cool thing is I think the more you flip stuff, the more discretionary you become. So it's like the next time you buy a ring, I bet you're gonna have like a more like keen sort of insight on like, oh, okay,
Oh,
now
for
I've already
sure.
done this. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
those reps really make a massive difference. And you know,
it's like going into a dark room the first time, right? The first
right.
time you kind of like
Yep.
feeling around a little bit. Next time you're like, oh, I've been here before.
Yeah, I know these woods. I've been here. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that that's something a lot of people don't, put it and I got to blame it a little bit on the school system, right? Like because we, go into school and we have to pass these tests and it has to be done perfect and it has to be
Yep.
like you can fail your whole way to success.
Uh-huh.
Like
creativity isn't pushed as much, maybe. I don't
that's
know.
probably what it is, like it's funny because I got out of high school, got out of college, and I had to like relearn everything when it
Oh
came
yeah.
Hmm.
to starting a business. Um,
Uh-huh.
and like when the first time I ever heard, like, I remember I think it was like an affiliate marketing thing that I was
Uh-huh.
trying to do, and somebody said like, you know, failure is like the key to success, or something. It was some cheesy thing like that, right? And I was like, but I had never heard it before in school,
Uh-huh.
and it was just like, and and then I heard somebody else say, fail forward, right? Just
Yeah.
keep going, right? Um, and every mistake you make is also a story, in a way, right? Uh,
Hmm.
and one way I look at it is like every mistake that I personally make, since I'm this coach, I'm this person, I can give that to somebody else so they don't actually make that same mistake.
Yeah.
I bought a fake iPhone, early on. I made a video. Here's, showing how it was a fake phone. That helped a lot of people, you know, and
Yeah.
it is what it is, right? I remember Nivan, he bought a fake phone. It almost crushed him in the business.
It did.
Had to talk him off a ledge. He was going to quit because of that one failure, you know. Now he's doing whatever he's doing, direct buyer stuff. So
Yeah.
it's
It stings. The first time definitely stings.
oh yeah,
You get a little upset. I think I got really upset when I first had my first iPhone mess up. I'm like, never, no iPhones ever again.
yep.
But
That first phone you
keep
buy
pushing.
that has a bad Face ID and you don't notice it,
Yeah.
you lose
Or iCloud locked
$150.
or something.
It's
Yeah,
really helpful fuel though too, because I think it motivated me more. I think it also made me aware of like how I didn't want to make my customers or people I'm doing business with feel. So it's like, all right, I know what that feels like. Let's not do that. And I
yeah.
think we can win at this. And it was really helpful because I got scammed on a laptop by like 300 or 400 bucks. Just because I rushed the deal, you know what I mean? And we've all done that. We've all gotten so excited about the potential
Mm,
profit that we didn't pay attention to what was in front of us. But
I like to visualize
keep
stuff
going.
a lot here. So like I want everybody listening to imagine like the path you're about to go down imagine it's a road that has a bunch of potholes in it, right? Like, and that's what it is, right? But you have your little cement bag and everything in your car, and every pothole you hit, now you can actually fill the hole in, right? To the point where eventually the road gets very smooth and there's very little potholes anymore. And if you look at it that way, it makes, I think in my mind anyway, the visualization gives it a lot more meaning.
yeah,
um, you're gonna fail. Like there's gonna be potholes. You're like it's just gonna happen. Like, um, but I want to change the subject because I want to talk about Google Business. Because David, you took that and you freaking skyrocketed your local profile, bro. Can we
Yeah,
talk about that a little bit without obviously giving away all the juice that
no.
you put in?
What I love about what I do is I can literally tell you everything I've done, and it's still going to take you a couple months, 3, 4, 5 months to build out what I've done.
right.
You
Sure,
know, I
yeah.
Yeah.
keep working at it. So right now, I can tell you everything I've done. There's just no way you're going to catch up unless you start working on it today.
Listen to that confidence. I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's do it. So,
Just because, well, Chris, I know you're from like a marketing background. I feel like this business is a very simple business, and it's going to teach you a lot of basic business skills if you listen to people like Alex Hormozy and these other guys. He's been, but Alex, I like him a lot because he's like, I guess he's around my age or a little bit younger, and but he just puts things in a very simple, terms that I guess everybody can relate to.
Yeah.
But his 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 stuff has helped me because it's like this the turnaround on flipping phones is so quick that it's almost like the business is learning. The real business here is learning how to run a business because it's not that hard of a business. So you
yeah.
just gotta learn how to bring in leads, how to like, customer service, how to like turn around and do something. I don't think it's that hard. I think it's a very like if you were to go to school for like learning business, I think could be one of those like starter package businesses. I don't know if I'm going kind of on a rant here, but I just feel like it's a simple business. um, well, anyway, so internet marketing background, Google My Business. You kind of turned me on to that, but I knew about websites and conversions and building funnels and getting traffic to pages because this is all internet marketing background. So you put it all together, and it kind of just worked out really well for me. So I put a whole website together. I do the Google business optimization. I do the SEO. I do the internet marketing, and it just you know, I, it might be a lot for somebody who doesn't know these words or they're just into getting into it now, but it's really not that hard. but slow, consistent effort over time, and you can be one of the best at it for sure.
One thing I love about Google Business is I'm actually getting emails all the time now to actually sell mine, um, which you'll probably start getting those soon.
Really?
Like I tell people all the time, that's the most sellable asset in your business. Your
Mm,
GMB profile and then also your email and phone number list. Those are the most
yeah,
sellable assets in this business. And if you guys really think about it, I want you guys to really listen, the people watching this. This business is still very underground. Like it's not, it hasn't really blown up yet. And it's still not even, I think it's probably like 5 or 6 years away from being like really more mainstream. Um, but I can almost guarantee you what we'll see in the future is larger companies, probably the Gazelles and the Eco ATMs and the people like that, buying up these other flippers GMBs later on.
Mm.
wow,
Sense because a lot of other companies do that. A lot of private equity will buy a bunch of plumbing companies all at once and just roll it up into one company. That's a real thing. So,
It's
um,
true.
I mean, that's what private equity does a lot, along with a lot of other stuff. But the power of Google Business is, I mean, I tell people all the time, it's the most important asset in your business. You need every lead or every deal you get from Facebook, every deal you get from Google Ads, every deal you get from reach outs, you need to
Yeah.
be getting a review. If you get 100 reviews on your Google Business profile, you are literally probably dominating your area. And it'll be very difficult for anybody to dethrone you.
Yeah.
Just being
here in
real.
Miami, it's a little tougher. Here you got like people with
Oh yeah.
400 reviews, so I'm still not there yet. So,
Well,
but talking about Google Business and all that, I feel like there's so many ways to make money with this. Because another, like, you can go to any company and be like, "Hey, I'll work on your Google Business profile," and you can charge them $1,000, $2,000, maybe more. So the
They need it.
opportunities are
Yeah.
endless here.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's only
Yeah.
four things you need to do is number one, reply to the reviews. Well, number one is get reviews. That's like the first one. Number two is reply to the reviews with the right keywords, right?
Mhm.
Three, and this is my recommendation, but like take photos. Treat the GMB like a social media profile, pretty much. The more
Mhm.
it's we talk about eBay and touching the store often. The same thing applies to Google, is the more you're interacting with your profile, the more they're going to recommend you. Like that's just
And Google moves really fast too. I've
oh
noticed that I
my
do
God.
keyback
Yeah.
reviews. Like I'll get a lot. I think the first time I ever got a gaming laptop review, then the next day I had somebody call me about gaming laptops.
Yes.
Wow. That's cool.
That, like it does move fast. People don't realize how fast it moves. And then what was the last thing? Um, I think just posting regularly on it too is the main thing.
Mhm.
Posting the items you buy. If you take photos with customers, that's definitely a game changer. Um,
Hmm.
I actually wanted to talk about ways of how like you can do better than me because I feel like a lot of people are here listening. They're like, "Oh, I want to do like David. So how about I'll give you the sauce. I'll tell you how you can do better than me."
go for it, dude.
Uh, I, for whatever reason, so far have no pictures of my face on any of my Google business profiles. None of my videos. I don't do. You want to do the future of this is going to be you do a little video after every purchase and be like, "Hey, this is David. We buy electronics. Man, I just bought this. If you want to sell me stuff, post on social media. If you do that 3 times a day, you'll beat me eventually because I'm not doing that right now. Or you take pictures and you put your face on your Google business profile, you're gonna do better than me because I don't have my face on there.
Yeah, no, I actually did that a while back with the Reels, and it actually did quite well. Um, so like what I'd actually recommend in like that, and this is like a ninja move for those people that are willing to do more than most people, right? Is if you do what David just said, you put that on your GMB, right? The customer photos already do like incredibly well. People
Well,
don't
10x me, I'm sure. I need to start getting on that. I need to get some shirts done because I
realize.
know that would like that's it. You're dominating for sure.
So like the customer photos do well, but like what you're saying, the videos, I think I have one or two on mine right now, where it's just like I took a video and it's basically like a live review, just in a real format. And you can also run that on Facebook ads as well, and it shows you're a real person. That's something I recommended with the customer facing photo ads, which work really with it. Higher cost per lead, but better customers, you know. Um, but yeah, that's definitely something coming down for sure. I can almost guarantee you Google is going to put forward something to match Reels and well, they have Shorts, but
That'd be
there's
interesting.
something.
Yeah,
I guarantee you there's something coming.
like a video clip or something.
Like yeah, because I mean, if we're being real, like business has moved to video almost
Hmm.
exclusively at this point.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a fair point.
all of the ads that I recommend in Resell Deck now are pretty much video ads, and I'm
Mm.
gearing up to make even more now. Because you can do so much with video ads. Ever since Facebook killed the Facebook pixel, video has been the way. Because you can retarget people who have viewed like 25% of a video.
It's more fun to watch. People are on social media to just have fun. They're not there to buy, sell their phones or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I've noticed here in my market, it's mostly Spanish people, but the Spanish people around here are killing it with the social media. They have like the most like those like cutaway social media where it looks like somebody's getting hit by a car and all of a sudden they're like rolling around and have like an ad in their hand or something.
Yeah.
And those do really well, dude. And it's free almost, right? You just have to make the video and they have like thousands of shares and video is just fun, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. The definitely the ones with the hooks now with
Yeah.
uh, I don't maybe I should do one like that. I don't know. I feel like it's a little
I think
deceptive.
it'll work.
It would
I think
probably
it'd work. You want to have fun. You have fun. Like people like that. They like watching people have fun and it's
Yeah.
fun for them.
I think
I don't know.
the feeling I get whenever I get one of those like real quick hooks and then it completely changes to something different, it just feels so deceptive to me in terms of marketing.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, you
people
feel the
love
dishonesty coming through.
You get that like dopamine hit, like what's going to happen next, and then immediately it's like, oh, it's an ad,
it.
asshole, you know, like,
Yeah.
um, like
Good, oh, they say bad publicity. I don't know. Maybe you're right, but
I
gets
mean,
people's
bad
attention.
marketing is still marketing. I understand, like, I get it.
Uh, yeah.
I don't, for me, I think it's more associating it with my brand, you know? And I don't really want to do that because I've seen the rise of creators, and then also the fall of a lot of them.
Mhm.
Um, so it's kind of, I don't know. Who knows? My stance on that might change later, but um, that's just my thought process right now whenever I see the ad. I like the organic, chill, legit kind of stuff that I feel like long it could be because my timeline on things is more 4 or 5 years, you know, and I
Yeah.
don't want to be I don't want to throw up something associated with a brand that I have. I don't know, but anyway, anyway, Google My Business has been killing it for you, right?
So it's Google My Business and it's my website as well. It's the SEO aspect of it. I don't want to share my URL. I'm sure you can find it because I don't want people to go in there just to see
Yeah.
what I'm going on.
Oh,
And it kills my conversions or whatever.
yeah.
But honestly, just really simple. You can make a website that has keywords of words that people are searching in your area. So let's say you live in Charlotte, you make a website that's called We Buy. Well, let's try Buy Back Charlotte. It can
Yeah.
be Buy Back Charlotte, and then a lot of content where it talks about you buying electronics in the Charlotte area. And then you'll start noticing people are going to go to your website, and then you go on ChatGPT and be like, "Hey, how can I SEO optimize this website?" And start taking chances, and just start playing around with it. And you're going to get a lot of leads through SEO. You're going to get them through Google Business Listing. You're going to get them through your relationships in the past and your past customers, and it starts all adding up. And then little by little, it feels more like a less like guesswork, and it's more clocking in and doing what you need to do, the systems, and then clock out, and then you're done for the day.
Yeah, dude.
And keep reaching out to people, keep listening, keep conscious of your time. Pick make the right decisions in your business and your day and your habits, and it starts adding up. You know,
It does. It's the synergism, right? It's small compounded effects all amplified, stacked up together that really ultimately build a business. And I think I hope people hear that sort of in between the lines of what David's saying. Like, if you start doing the one thing, it's not just the one thing, and it's not just this one thing. It's all the things done together consistently, compounded over time, that keeps it just keeps the money churning, right? And if you do
Mhm.
that stuff and I think get fixated or focused or maybe even sometimes a little obsessed with process, it will reward you very handsomely. Shouts out to Chris over here.
I get
Um,
Yeah,
obsessed with it.
it almost gets boring. I feel like it almost like gets more boring. The more money you make, the more boring it gets
Oh
because
my
the
gosh,
more
dude. Yeah.
consistent things are, you
yeah,
know?
Yes. Yeah, well,
people,
you're not getting the same dopamine hits anymore,
yeah.
right? Like that's what it is, if we're being real.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
I
it's not
strive for those. I mean, Matt knows this. I'm always hitting Matt up with new ideas about everything because
occasionally, yeah.
I've been more consistent here lately. Just been chilling and just staying with the course here lately.
He's
Uh,
like Doc Brown from Back to the
I
Future.
feel like
Marty, no.
uh, we all kind of
well,
have the same problems, I guess. We're all just trying to like find that one thing where we can just,
Well, it's in the words of Hormozy, it's never a silver bullet. It's always like 100 golden BBs,
Yeah,
right? It's all of those that are just stacked on top of
but
each that people don't realize is there pretty much.
yeah. I wish more people knew that. Like, people don't realize how much what they really want when they say, "Oh yeah, well, I want a successful business." What they're really saying is, "Oh yeah, I want boring money. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want some of that
yeah.
boring money." Yeah.
yeah,
Or I feel like I'm addicted to work at this point. Like I have this money stacking up, but I just can't, I just like working. I like doing something with my time. Sometimes my girlfriend hates me because I'll watch TV and she's like, "Oh, you can't sit still." And I'm like, I just
yeah.
rather work on my business. I don't
Feel that. My wife hates that.
know.
But hey, you know what I always tell her, hey, it's better than drugs. So, you know.
True. I
Yes, there are worse
There are
vices.
worse things I could be addicted to.
There's no question. There are worse vices than drugs. Um,
I think, everybody can get addicted to something, right? As long as I think it's a positive addiction, and it's actually helping you. Like you can be, I mean, now, I mean, you can't,
question.
right? But yeah, go ahead,
Qu
David.
Question. Do you is the motivational like what do you wake up to make money every day, or do you wake up just because you want to be like that type of person that like gets things done and like,
Not at all. No.
so what is it?
For me,
Yeah.
I like to build stuff. Like I like to create things that haven't been created yet. Like that's really
Okay.
what like moves me.
Hmm.
Especially in a space where they're like nobody's built a thing yet. Like we were when we got Resale Deck running, we were like that was 2020. Like we were 4 or 5 years ahead. Most phone flippers didn't even know what a CRM was, you know?
Mm.
Like now, I learned a very hard lesson with that. I lost money on Resale Deck for the first year. So, um,
Facts.
but but
We kept pushing.
but yeah, well, I was using it, right? Like that I
Mm.
was losing money on the software itself, but I was making money using the software in my own business. So like it kind of evened out a little bit. But
Mm.
I had also created something that nobody else had. Nobody else had follow-up systems. Nobody else had a digital bill of sale. Nobody had any of these things. So it honestly made me feel
Right.
cool. Um,
Hmm.
and and then fast forward, I created Resale Hawk, something that nobody else had created yet. And for me, that was like that's kind of my driving factor is like
That's cool, yeah.
I want to create the thing.
Engineering, I guess.
Huh?
Being like a little bit of engineering.
Yeah, that I like learning. Well, number one, I like learning new things.
Yeah.
And then two, I like being first to market. Good example of
Yeah.
this is
Yes, you do.
so yeah. Um, I wasn't first to market with phone flipping itself, but I was first to market with a CRM, first to market with an ads management program, all of that stuff, right? Um, and then now I think we're first to market with the AI tools too. So like that's like
I
I
feel
think
like you're the blend between internet marketing and flipping phones, like street style.
That's my goal, I want to be the Hormozy
Um,
of phone flipping. So,
yeah, it's like yeah, and this is all knowledge that you can use on like any business. It's like I mean, for us, I guess a little general internet marketing, but like somebody who's new to this, this is high end stuff, but it all
Yeah.
applies to different businesses, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another reason I'm pushing for more high ticket flips now too, is, Hormozy talks about it a lot. It's like, um, the more somebody pays you, the better they are typically as a customer. And I feel
Hmm.
like that's very true
Yeah.
with like if you go buy like a $2,000 camera, that person probably isn't going to complain about getting $2,000. Like and then the person buying the camera, they got 2,500 or whatever, they're probably not going to complain unless you like really mess up. Like what a lot of
Well,
people don't
well,
realize is like the lower end flips is actually where you have the most issues, the most returns, the most this and that and everything else, the most complaints.
well,
Like,
let's talk about that because this all comes full circle. All again is like
yeah,
being a cool person. If you're a cool person, you're gonna attract people who are more like connected socially, I guess more in the present moment. And these people are usually going to have higher ticket items. So if
Hmm.
you have like trash customer service, you're going to attract people who are there kind of like they need the money like really bad,
yeah,
or
Yeah.
might, run off with the phone, or they might, sell you something that's not good versus somebody who, maybe doesn't really need the money. They're just doing it for the convenience aspect of it. And they like you because you remember their name and they keep selling you stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
the be the people you want to be around, I guess, at a certain time. You gotta like aspire like attract this higher end clientele to you.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
That's
think maybe it's about embodying characteristics that you aspire to see in the people that you're doing business with, you know? It's like um yeah, like attracts like kind of thing. Is that sort of what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so a little bit. I don't want you to make you think like I'm only working with like rich people or something like that. Like most of
Yeah.
my clientele, 80% of them are people that legit just needed money to pay rent.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's a little bit of that in there too. It's like
Yeah.
you don't do good with customer service, you're not going to get good customers. You're just going to be like very like one hit people, never see them again.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think the golden rule still bears its merit, you know. Just treat other people well and you're going to see other people treat you well. And that, it's classic. Um well, there was something you were talking about, Chris, but my mind derailed as soon as I answered or responded to David there, so I can't. It's not quite registering here at this point.
Sure.
Well, David, I would love to ask you maybe one or two quick questions. Like I'm kind of curious, like if you had to kind of like identify um maybe like three qualities that phone flipping has sort of like sculpted or cultivated in you as a person that you really like you're really glad those things are there now. Maybe as a business person, maybe just as a person. What would you kind of say those are? Like,
So you're asking me like what I've learned recently through phone flipping?
no, I'm asking you like what what type of person has becoming a more successful businessman like kind of carved you into that you celebrate and appreciate?
Okay, so what I've gained from running a successful business as a person,
Sure.
uh, I don't know. I feel like I'm the type of person that I'm like an overachiever. I look at my business and I feel like I'm not really doing anything. Not doing much. I feel like I could be
This is
doing
boring.
better.
Oh man.
That's because it's
Um,
boring.
well, okay, let me qualify this, okay, and kind of help corral this question a little bit better. All right, the David, early reselling David versus David now, how has this David grown from where this David was? And what would you say are like three characteristics that you know stand out more significantly than maybe the others?
I know you're probably asking like how I've become like as better like a person, like I guess like more humble or something like that. I don't know, maybe in that
No,
aspect, but
no.
I
Well,
would
what I'm
say I
saying
would.
is, sorry, allow me just to interrupt. There are
Okay.
soft skills that I think are
Uh,
always really important to be noted in each different person that we get a chance to talk to. I could kind of say what those are for Chris, knowing Chris pretty well now, or for myself. but we've had you on the show twice, so I'd say like, what do you think are some of those like soft skills or some of those things that have like really you've seen grown where it's like, oh, okay, like I wasn't doing this before, but now I'm doing this, and I actually kind of like this about myself now.
I guess that's a tough one. Um, I guess kind of reading people's situations or their intentions a little bit better.
Okay.
This is a weird one, but like sometimes like you can see somebody in the eye and
Yeah.
you can tell somebody's off about them, but you're just not haven't been in that situation enough of times before. Now I kind of like careful with these things because you understand these people are in, they need money. They might be in a tough spot. You don't know if they're to drugs or something like that. Or this is
Yeah.
kind of the ugly side of the business, but it's
Yeah.
it's real. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying always are like this, but you can kind of like tell what the people's vibe is, kind of how they're moving around. Like, hey, should I watch out for this person a little bit? Because I'm very like cool, nonchalant. I
Yeah.
try to treat everybody like they have their best intentions, but it's not always like that. This is real life. There's
Yeah.
real life situations out there, so I kind of feel like I've gotten a little bit better at reading the room a little bit,
Cool.
and I try to just watch out for these things. Nothing that's so exciting. I mean, I guess like a less um, not as cool, but I just feel nice going out and not having to worry about the price of things so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, there's
that's
nothing
real.
crazy. Yeah. I guess when I go out, I used to like make sure I have enough. Oh, it's like $50, $100 is not a problem. Um, uh,
That's a big one.
Nothing. Just realize that all these accomplishments that you achieve. It's cool like to have friends that tell you, hey, you're doing great, but at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you're doing this just for yourself. And you need to be happy with your own accomplishments, and you have to be okay with like nobody caring. I like nobody cares. I can go up to be like, oh, I sold 100 grand on eBay. Most people are just be like, good for you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Well, there's
Yeah.
going to be some people that are like, for me, whenever I saw stuff like that, I was like, okay, that's the goal. Be like, get there, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember whenever like back in the day, David Kosciuszko, he would share like, he was doing 30, 40,000 in
Yeah.
sales on eBay. And I was like, that's the goal, right? Like, and I hit it within like a year, you know? And then I was
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
okay, where's the next goal? Like,
Yeah.
look around, but also there are some people, it really depends on who the person is, I think, because some people will just look at it and be like, yeah, you're cap, bro,
Yeah.
like I
or
shared,
what margins? What are the margins?
oh my God, yeah, like that. I mean, while it's important, I agree,
Yeah.
because there are some people that do 100,000 in sales and make 5 grand, like,
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about that for 2 minutes? There's this
yeah,
one
let's
guy
do it.
around me that he pays like 600 to make 650 from like Atlas or whatever it is. And there's some people like that, and I just feel like that's crazy. Like you're making $50 for with 100, like you have $600, and the best thing you can do is buy a $650 phone with that money. Like, come on.
Whoa.
But anyways,
Oh, all he had was $600.
no, I just know that there's guys like he's paying like $50 under what Atlas is paying.
That's like 9%.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of people that make a lot of business off of that.
Sure. Yeah,
But
you're right.
it's funny because I actually
Uh,
had, um, there's been many people that reach out asking because I tell them the margins we're making from the local user to the online area.
Mhm.
They're like, are you seriously like 20, 25%? I'm like, yes, it's been that way forever at this point. They're like, no freaking way. And I'm like, yes,
Uh,
like that's
well,
that's a real thing. And then you got the guys that are like, eBay's a scam. No, bro, you're just doing the wrong things. Like
yeah.
that's just what it is. Like every person that I have that tells me eBay is a scam, they've either sold an iCloud locked phone on eBay and gotten banned, sold brand new phones on eBay and gotten
Oh
banned.
man.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you're approaching it the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you really, and then, or, they got banned and then they yelled at an eBay rep, you know? And well, you want to know the fastest way to get banned from eBay is yell at their reps.
Be
So,
unkind. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a great way to ruin your business. Um,
It's true
It's
though. But yeah, I mean, there
yeah,
are some people that run their wholesaling businesses on small margins. That's fine.
Insane. Like
But
cash flow problems. Yeah, that's your competition. So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
I mean, it is what it is, right? But also, I think that's why it's important to expand outside of the phones and stuff like that because everybody is after phones. Everybody and their brother at this point, you know?
it's I mean it's part of the cultural soup or water that we all live and swim in on a daily basis. You know what I mean? It's like fish doesn't know what it's like outside of its own environment. It doesn't even know that what's water. You know what I mean? It's like it's just there. And how common is that? But um, David, going back to what you were saying, I think that's really cool that, the first response I heard you say there is like you are a more discerning person than you were before. Like you can pick up on cues and kind of track with people and even maybe low key like make some deductions about maybe what people are dealing with. And that is like I don't know, that's like a massive skill in any industry, in my opinion. Um, but then also just the personal satisfaction of being able to not think about the money and where it's coming from is um, I think that's kind of one reason why probably all of us started reselling at some point is just we got tired of running into that wall, right? And guys, that eventually you do break through that space, and just kind of take what David has expressed as um, another testimony that can and does happen. Um, and it's really satisfying when it does. So that's really cool, dude. I celebrate that for you.
thank you.
So, David, do you want to pitch your little course or
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to reach out and talk to me, I have my Tech Flip School. It's an Instagram page. Just follow it. You can message me there if you want to talk. I might have some courses for sale in the future, something like that. But I am really like full on out on my own business. You have guys like Chris and Matt here. They're dedicating their time to teaching other people. I can give you some tips, but reach out to these guys. But you can just follow me. Maybe I'll drop some tips as well.
yeah, we'll throw his Instagram link in the first comment below. You guys can check it out there. And grab. I think what is it like? I won't give a
Uh,
price right now because it'll probably change. But just click the link below, check the stuff out.
Right.
Um,
thank you.
yeah, and just leave. We'll leave it there. But yeah, he is more focused on his business right now. But obviously, you know, I don't know how open you are to answering questions. If you want to throw that in there, it's better to be forward about it. If they might need to wait 48 hours for a response, like some people do.
Yeah, it might take a while. I'm just, you have these guys more than anything.
Yeah,
But if you want to talk to me for some, you're in Miami and you have something for sale, hit me up. I'll buy
yeah.
it.
Any jewelry you guys might? I'm just kidding.
Fast
Could
rings.
be, could be. You
You
don't
know,
know.
that could be a straight up business, David. Is there's your next dopamine hit. I buy class rings for cash,
I already made a post on my website about it. So.
Let's go.
That
That's
that's
awesome.
funny. I could say that that's probably the most David Veras thing, but it's also the most Chris Schroeder thing I've probably heard in any interview. Is like, oh, I already did that and like made one. That's fantastic. I love it.
When I launched iBuy Agency, man, you'd be surprised at how many niches I found that where people just buy stuff and they have no system whatsoever for anything that they're doing. And
Wow.
it's
Yeah,
honestly amazing. There was one where the dude was just buying and reselling bikes and like making a killing. And I was just like, bro, like, but no lead like lead process or anything. Like
Wow.
there's so
hmm
many industries out there. That's why this is called the smart flip, right? So
Yep.
um David, is there anything that you would recommend a newer person doing in the beginning to get this thing started for them?
It depends. If you have a little bit of cash, just get really good at Facebook Marketplace. There's literally a endless sea of opportunity there.
Come on.
I can't think of an easier way to make money. If you need to make money, then just turning on your phone, going down, scrolling down, finding something at a good price, and just putting it back on eBay. Um, and if you're getting to the point where like you know how to spot a deal and you know you can flip it, then that's when you start spending money on systems, either getting somebody to look at Facebook Marketplace for you all day, or start looking into advertising or something. If you have
Yeah.
money, start spending on advertising. If you don't have, really basic. If you have a lot of time but you don't have a lot of money, Facebook Marketplace.
100%. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on, you can set up systems like Marketplace Monitor and Facebook ads and all of that other stuff.
Get
Um,
good at one of them. You
you
don't have
get
to
good.
get
Yeah.
good at all of them. They
No,
all
that's
work.
100%. There's 8 different ways to get leads that I've found in this business. If you can get really good at 2 or 3 of them, or even just one, in the
Leads
beginning,
shouldn't be a problem.
no, not in this
Lead
business at all. Like I said, I've
the
identified 8 different ways to get leads. You got reach outs, you got Facebook, social media ads, Google My Business, pawn shops, repair shops, other resellers, repeats, and referrals. Like there's so man, somebody posted the other day in my group. It was a client, Emilio. Started it's crazy, dude. But this just goes to show he started buying phones from strip clubs of all places. So
that's all that takes.
um, people apparently leave their phones all the time, and after that 90-day window, you know, they gotta get rid of them. So
Yep.
there's leads everywhere,
There are.
everywhere.
There's not a leads problem. Find out where you suck at. It's probably not leads. I don't think so. There's the problem I'm running into right now is just how fast can like I clean these things and like do the updates and like take pictures and put on eBay. That's kind of like if I could. My girlfriend's not into cleaning things, but if I could find like somebody around me who can just take care of that part of the business, I'm sure I can scale a lot more.
Oh
But
yeah,
leads is if you have the money, you can get 1,000 leads a day if you wanted to. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's
Just
out
gotta
there.
have the right system set up to make that happen.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Can you
David,
handle the
appreciate you
leads?
coming on, dude. This is always good having you on, dude. We'll
Yeah.
have to bring you on
Likewise, thanks.
in a
Uh,
couple months,
Yeah.
but
yeah, let's do it again. I don't know. Let's do it next year, early next year, something like that. See where
yeah,
we're at.
heck yeah. Well, guys, this has been another episode of the Smart Flip. Appreciate you guys listening in. I think this has been a really good one. So make sure you guys, listen to it once or twice. Make sure to like and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things that you're supposed to do, I guess. Um, Also, we are
Smash that like button.
smash the like button. Yeah, and subscribe. Um, I'm such a YouTube. We've done 70 something episodes, and I'm terrible at the just
You're
all that
good, dude.
extra stuff.
Oh, plugging all the things, guys.
Yeah,
Check
yeah,
out Resellator if you really want to grow your business. If you just want to start flipping some consoles, check out Console Kings.
yeah.
If you're in the South Beach area and you want to hit up somebody who's wanting to buy class rings, check out David Veris. And
No,
thanks for
yeah.
being
Matt did
awesome
a
at
better
radio
job than me.
specific.
See, this is how you
Amazing.
know somebody's like relatable and legit is they don't know how to even, plug the right things into their YouTube videos.
That's why you have Matt.
This is where all the good videos live. So,
Well, guys, we
um,
thank you for listening anyway. Thank you.
exactly. By the way, just also, we've noticed a lot of you guys listening on Spotify and Apple. Thank you. I just looked at the stats the other day, and I was like, oh wow, people are actually listening.
Nice.
So this is great. So
That's cool. That's pretty
make sure
cool.
to check us out on those because we're there too, and appreciate you guys listening. Uh, and if you want extra stuff, make sure to grab all the links and stuff below. There's a bunch of free stuff. My banning community is still open, so if you want to join a course and not finish it and get banned, join that one.
That's right.
Um,
If you want to be challenged.
yeah, if you want to be challenged, right? We've banned 724 people so far. So
Wow.
let's
That's
freaking
impressive.
go.
That's
So
impressive.
don't be one of
Let's get
them.
it to 1,000.
Yeah, I want to get it to 1,000. Join it. Don't finish it so I can ban you. It's always refreshing to ban people. So, all right, guys. You guys have a great day. Keep crushing it, and see you guys next time.